Hello, today we are looking far beyond our own windows and traveling across the entire globe. I am Professor Wolfizzle. Today is day 18 of our journey. We have learned how to describe the sky above our own houses, but our planet is giant and has many different faces. Today we are talking about the climate zones of the world. From the burning heat of the equator to the frozen ice of the poles, let's explore how the weather changes across the continents. First, we must understand the essential difference between weather and climate. Weather is what happens right now, like a sudden rain shower or a sunny afternoon. It is short and temporary. Climate, however, is the pattern of weather over a long period of time, usually 30 years or more. It tells us what to expect in a certain region. Our world is divided into several fascinating climate zones. Let us start our journey in the middle of the Earth at the equator. This is the tropical zone. Here, the weather is hot and humid all year round because the sun is always high in the sky. There are no 4 seasons here like in Europe or North America. Instead, there is a wet season and a dry season. In the tropical rainforest, it rains almost every day. We call this precipitation. The air is thick with moisture and the vegetation is incredibly dense. It is the home of giant trees, colorful birds, and exotic animals. Living here feels like being in a permanent warm sauna. Moving away from the equator, both north and south, we find the arid zone. This is where the great deserts are located. In an arid climate, there is very little rainfall. Sometimes it does not rain for many months or even years. The ground is parched, sandy, and rocky. During the day, the temperature is scorching and can reach over 40 degrees. But at night, the heat disappears into the clear sky, and it can become surprisingly chilly. Life here must be very strong to survive without much water. Animals like camels and plants like cacti have special ways to store every drop of liquid. Next, we reach the temperate zone. This is where many of us feel most at home. In a temperate climate, we have 4 distinct and beautiful seasons: spring, summer, autumn, and winter. The weather here is mild. It is not too hot and not too cold. We have a healthy mix of sunny days, rainy weeks, and occasional snow. The changes in the atmosphere make the landscape change its colors throughout the year. Farmers love this climate because it is perfect for growing different types of crops and vegetables. If we travel further north or south, towards the centers of the large continents, we enter the continental climate. Here, the distance from the ocean makes the weather more extreme. The summers are warm and pleasant, but the winters are very long, dark, and freezing. You will see deep snow covering the forests and thick ice forming on the lakes. The wind can be very sharp and gusty here, blowing across the open plains. Finally, we reach the ends of the Earth. The polar zones. This is the coldest and harshest climate on our planet. In the Arctic in the north and the Antarctic in the south, the ground is covered in permanent ice and permafrost. The temperature stays below freezing for almost the entire year. The landscape is a desert of ice. During the winter, the sun does not rise for months, creating a long polar night. During the summer, the sun never sets, which we call the midnight sun. It is a world of white silence and powerful, dangerous blizzards. We must also talk about the mountains, which have their own rules. This is the alpine climate. As you go higher up a mountain, the air becomes thinner and much colder. This is why, even in a very hot country, you can find white snow and glaciers on the peaks of high mountains. The weather here is unpredictable. It can change in a few minutes from a bright, calm sun to a violent and dangerous storm. Today, we must also look at the future of our planet. We see that our global climate is changing rapidly. We talk about global warming and the greenhouse effect. This means the average temperature of the Earth is rising because of human activity. It causes the polar ice to melt and the sea levels to rise, which threatens coastal cities. Understanding our climate is the first step to protecting our beautiful and fragile planet. Today, we learned over 60 important words about the global world. We talked about tropical, arid, temperate, and polar zones. We learned about the equator, precipitation, permafrost, and the midnight sun. You are doing a magnificent job. You have now unlocked 1,300 words. You are becoming a true scientist of the English language and a citizen of the world. I am Professor Wolfizzle. Which climate do you prefer? Do you like the tropical heat of the jungle, or do you prefer the fresh, cold air of the mountains? Tell me in the comments. Goodbye, and stay curious about our world.